This is the next level racing GT track, and this is the Trak Racer TR8. At $900 and $940 respectively, they both retail for around the same price and are targeted at the high-end serious sim racer. That being said, how do they compare to each other, and which one is actually better? Today I'll be telling you just that. First things first, I want to emphasize that this isn't a review in any way. This video is simply a direct comparison between the GT track and the TR8. First, I'll tell you all of the ways the GT track is superior to the TR8. Then I'll tell you all of the ways the TR8 is superior to the GT track, and then I'll go over the similarities, and I'll end off by giving you all my final recommendation. If you are considering either of these cockpits and are looking for a review, I've made separate, far more in-depth reviews on both of these cockpits, and you can find those on my channel. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Here are all the ways the next level racing GT track is superior to the Trak Racer TR8. Starting off, it's a little cheaper. Granted, only $40 cheaper, but $40 is $40. That's like a week's worth of lunch for me if I play my cards right. The seat on the GT track is made from synthetic leather as opposed to the fabric used on the TR8s. I personally find this more comfortable to sit on for long periods of time. Moreover, unlike cloth seats, leather doesn't stain, cleans more easily, and doesn't hold odors like cloth. It also just looks of higher quality as well. Unlike the shifter plate on the TR8, which is fixed in place and cannot be adjusted in any way, the GT track allows you to adjust the shifter plate back and forwards to perfectly fit your needs. The shifter plate on the GT track is also a lot bigger, which allows you to fit more gear onto it. If you're someone who is constantly adding and removing gear onto your rig, it'll be a lot easier to do so on the GT track. With its large wheel and pedal plate, I have a much easier time interchanging gear on it when compared to the TR8, whose nuts and bolts are tedious to access. Consequently, it's also a lot easier to make quick, subtle adjustments on the GT track. A perfect example of this is when comparing the amount of time it takes to adjust the angle of the wheel plate, where I only need to remove 2 nuts and 2 bolts on the GT track, make the adjustment, and then put them back in. The TR8 requires you to remove 6 nuts and 6 bolts to achieve the same thing. At its $900 price tag, the GT track comes with a racing harness, caster wheels, and a butt kicker mount under the seat. All of these things I just mentioned are sold separately and for some pretty hefty price points with the TR8. For example, the Trak Racer racing harness retails for $80, the caster wheels for $40, and the butt kicker mount for $60, all of this on top of the $940 you are paying for the cockpit itself. The seat on the GT track can be easily reclined and has a far better seat slider, which is not only easy to access but extremely smooth to operate. The one on the TR8 is too far away from the seat itself, which makes it hard to reach and doesn't feel nearly as smooth when sliding the seat back and forth. If you have deep pockets, the GT track is compatible with the next level racing motion platform system. If you're willing to spend that much, you're probably better off buying a real track car, but regardless, you have that option with the GT track, whereas Trak Racer doesn't offer anything of that sort. Since the GT track comes with a large wheel plate, it can also be used to mount a button box or simply just lay your phone onto. This is something you can't do with the TR8. Now enough with the Trak Racer slander, here are all of the ways the Trak Racer TR8 is superior to the next level racing GT track. First of all, it's a lot easier to build. It comes with 3 main frame parts that slot in and are screwed together, and if you're somewhat capable of assembling IKEA furniture, this shouldn't take you more than an hour to build, as opposed to the many hours I spent on the GT track, which comes with a lot more moving parts. Granted, I struggle putting together LEGO sets intended for middle schoolers, so take that with a massive grain of salt. Arguably for me, the biggest advantage compared to the GT track is that the TR8 comes with an included monitor mount, which sits in an optimal distance from the seat and wheel plate. This completely removes the hassle of needing to buy and build a standalone monitor stand, which takes up even more space in your room. For example, if you buy the GT track and decide to purchase the next level racing standalone single monitor stand, you'll be dropping an additional $200. The included TR8 monitor stand can support up to a 70-inch screen, and you can also purchase a separate triple monitor mount, which also hooks up directly onto the chassis. The next point is completely subjective, but I reckon most of you will agree when I say that the Trak Racer TR8 is by far the better looking rig. Its curvy chassis and free-flowing nature, along with its aggressive GT seat, looks so much cooler than the somewhat bland look of the GT track. Moreover, Trak Racer offers a greater variety of seats to go along with the TR8. In my case, I own the GT seat, but they also offer a rally or a recline seat for the same price. This gives you, the consumer, more options to perfectly suit your individual needs, as opposed to the GT Trak, which only comes with this one seat available. Trak Racer also offers a greater variety of accessories to go along with your rig. Granted, you'll be paying extra, but they offer things such as a side-mounted handbrake support, keyboard and mouse arm, speaker mounts, tablet and button box, bass shaker mount, and even a cup holder, among several other things. Next Level Racing also offers accessories for the GT Trak, but not nearly as many. Although you will need to separately purchase the Trak Racer racing harness for $80, it is of much higher quality than the one that comes with the GT Trak. It features cushion padding and looks and feels a lot more realistic overall. Another huge advantage of the TR8 is that with its included seat brackets, you can not only substantially increase or decrease the height of the seat itself, but you can also adjust it from a GT seating position to a more Formula style seating position to completely transform the look and feel of the rig. This is something you can't do with the GT Trak, whose seat is essentially stuck in place. In terms of similarities, there are a few, and really it's what you would expect from a top-range sim racing cockpit. Both the TR8 and GT Trak are highly adjustable, support direct drive wheels and high-end pedals, are highly rigid and won't be flexing around, and are compatible with all types of sim racing hardware. In conclusion, both the TR8 and GT Trak are stellar high-end sim racing cockpits that will suit the needs of nearly all sim racers. As I've mentioned, both of them do offer certain advantages and disadvantages compared to each other, but really it's up to you to decide which one you think will be best suited for you. In terms of my unique situation, since I am constantly interchanging gear for reviews on this channel, I primarily use the GT Trak because it's far easier and quicker for me to do so on it. However, the TR8 could be the better all-rounder solution since it features an integrated monitor stand and a fiberglass seat which can be positioned in a GT or Formula seating position. So while both the GT Trak and TR8 are fantastic rigs that will fit your needs, I think the TR8 has the leg up in terms of being the better all-rounder solution. As always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.